Welcome everyone. This is the Jenkins Platform SIG meeting. Today we're on December 3rd, 2024. And around the table we have Mark Waite, Antoine Neveu, Kevin Martins, myself, and Chris Sturm. Sorry, I did the list in the order I was seeing that. Sorry, Chris. On the agenda today, we have the end of support for Java 11. Yes, once again, we talk about the latest LTS. Then we'll address the latest container image updates for the Jenkins controller, then for the Jenkins agent. And we'll see a few things around the work in progress on images, and maybe say a few words about the 2+2+2 Java support plan. But I'm not so sure this progressed that much. First of all, then, the end of support for Java 11. It's been a while now. The weekly 463 dropped support for Java 11, and we dropped support for Java 11 in the latest LTS, which was 2.479.1, but is now 2.479.2. It has been delivered last Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So if you haven't switched yet to Java 17, maybe that's the time to think about it. Yesterday, Mark and Darren made a live video about the changes in the latest LTS. Apart from a few security fixes, Mark, I don't think there are that many changes between the .1 and the .2, right?
Correct. A few relatively minor bug fixes and the security fix.
Indeed. I watched the video, and that's what I remember from the video, security fixes. And not many other changes. Then I see it's live editing. So Mark, Jenkins Infra end of support for Java 11 needs planning and discussion. Okay, they want to continue Java 11 for a while. I wasn't able to attend today's Infra team meeting. So would you have anything to share about that?
Yeah, so and this wasn't specifically discussed in today's meeting, but people should be aware that the Jenkins project at the code level, so Jenkins core, Jenkins plugins, etc., are Jenkins no longer runs with Java 11. It just doesn't run with Java 11, right? Neither weekly nor LTS. Therefore, there's at some point in time, Java 11 will no longer be needed in Jenkins Infra. But today, we've got many plugins that still compile with Java 11 or generate Java 11 bytecode, but compile with Java 17, which are both fine. There's an open topic for the Jenkins Infra team to find what is the transition path. One of the things that Damien Duportal noted was we really can't continue providing Jenkins Infra with Java 11 if the Java 11 vendors stop providing security fixes for it. That for him would be a non-starter. However, right now, the Java 11 vendors have all extended the life of their Java 11 versions. And as far as I know, Tamarin will continue delivering security patches. Oracle will continue delivering security patches for Java 11. And so we're assuming therefore OpenJDK will also continue delivering security patches for Java 11. So it's not that we're immediately stopping all builds using Java 11, but there are certainly plugins today that have a build plugin command that uses Java 11. And when the Jenkins Infra stops supporting Java 11, those things would fail, right? Because they need to use 17 or 21. So that's the warning.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Would you have any deadline in mind about finishing with Java 11? Because we will have to. Okay.
No, the infra team has to discuss it and find their path forward. But right now, it does them no harm to continue to allowing Java 11 to be used. They just update with Java 11, and oddly enough, at least there was a time where it looked like Java 8's end of life would happen after Java 11's end of life. Yeah. Right now, it's no longer as clear to me which of those two will reach end of life first.
Yeah, and I was about to make a joke about Java 8, but you stole it from me. Thank you, Mark. Because we may get rid of Java 11 before Java 8 because that's a strange kind of love people have with Java 8. It will be there maybe like forever. We have problems getting rid of this one. I see Hervé just joined. Hello, Hervé. Let me add you there. Hervé, while you're there, would you have any insight to give us regarding this subject? The getting rid of Java 11 or not?
Just are we using old Java 11 image to run this test?
No, we're running current Java 11 images, so 11.0.25.
Okay.
Yeah, and the update CLI manifests and other tooling keeps us current. So there's not a real threat. We are and will continue to update to the most recent Java 11 version when they release them. The problem that Damien has noted is if if the Java projects stop releasing security fixes, then as infra officer, he feels obligated that we must stop providing that because we can't be delivering things built from something that is no longer getting security fixes.
Mm-hmm. I see. Mark, I guess we don't have any bots of batch files or things like that check on the validity of if Java 11 is still up to date or something like that. It's people who watch Oracle websites or things like that. We don't have anything automated like end of life or things like that going on for the time being.
Well, a good point. We can certainly refer to end of life. The end of life.date website is oftentimes a very useful site to check. At this point, I'm not sure if they're current or not. I haven't checked them.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Anything else, folks, regarding this subject? That's enough. Right. Let's switch to the container image updates for the Jenkins kernel. So we had an LTS last week, so the 2.479.2, and we have the corresponding Docker image. We also have the weeklies 2.487 and 2.488, in which we saw a few bug fixes, usual maintenance, dependency updates, but a big change, which is the changes in progress for Windows installer. Mark, you wanted to talk about that. Is it something that is already delivered, that has been already delivered, or is this a work in progress?
First delivery was attempted, but caused the 2.488 build to fail. And so Damien reverted that first delivery attempt and built 2.488 without it. What it is we have users who correctly have flagged, hey, I installed on Windows with the MSI installer, and then I upgrade using Jenkins' built-in upgrade mechanism that replaces the WAR file with a new version of the WAR file.
Uh-huh.
And that's great because it's a smooth experience. It doesn't require Windows administrator permission. It's a nice positive thing to do it that way. However, the Windows registry that records the installed Jenkins version is locked at the old version instead of showing the most recent version, right? So because it's not a privileged operation to do the Jenkins update, you just need to be a Jenkins administrator on Windows. We don't update the registry. And what Alex Earl has proposed is include a script that would allow the user to, from an elevated shell, perform that Windows registry updated from not from inside Jenkins. They'd have to use something that has elevated permissions in order to do it. But that's his proposal so that those people who want to rely on the Windows registry as a report of the Jenkins version that's installed can do that.
I see, but I don't see how this caused the builds to fail. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what might cause the build to fail. All I can do is report that it did cause the build to fail, and Damien had to revert it.
Okay, but that's pretty interesting because yes, that's a problem if the war is not up to date with what's in the registry in Windows. So I get it. That's a nice new feature or nice correction. Wherever this will work. Nothing will change about. I wanted to talk about the native tolerances. Nothing will change for the end users. So if you're your end users, you can just forget about this one. But I'm pretty happy with this change. Damien Duportal implemented a new kind of source in update CLI, which is a native tolerance source. Hervé, you're there. You worked a lot on Bash script, as I did in the previous months, trying to get something good enough to be used on production. And when we were using JDK 21 previews, for example, it was a pain in the neck to have something stable enough because it was changing between the plus, the minus, the hyphen, the underscore. That was a mess. And having a native tolerance source within update CLI allows us to get rid of these nicely done bash script that it's more secure, I would say more robust, and it has been implemented so in our update CLI manifest in several of our Docker repos, and it works. It works pretty well. So thank you, Damien. Thank you, Olivier Vernin, for all this work around the tolerance sources. It will make our job easier. Thank you. Now, the container image updates for the Jenkins agent. So I've spotted 2 new releases for the SSH agent, but there aren't that many changes in there. We have a new GitLFS version on Windows. We also use a native tolerance source, and we have bumped BATS version to 1.11.1, but that won't change anything for the end users. For the Docker agent, I've seen just 1 release with, again, a new version of GitLFS version on Windows, the Git version on Windows, and also the native tolerance source. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
No, that's good.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. And we have a few dependency updates. UB9 version has been upped to 9.5 something. There, again, it's a work in progress. We don't have a native update CLI source for UB9. We shouldn't have to have something special, but the way Red Hat uses tags is not the way we are supposed to work with tags. So it's kind of difficult. It doesn't work with a native GitHub release or Docker latest something when you want to find the latest version of the UB9 container image. So we had to do, once again, the bash script with JQ and so on to get the things right. I talked with somebody from Red Hat earlier today, and he was as puzzled as I was regarding the use of the tag names. So yeah, it is what it is. And if any one of you knows of source of truth, documentation written by a human being regarding the use of the tags for UB9, I'm all ears. Now, for the work in progress on images, we had a proposal, I think it was last month, at the beginning of November, optimize Debian Docker files, but it's still something we have to review. It will take some time because some things are pretty straightforward, some things are subject to discussions, I would say. So that will take some time to be merged or refused. We'll see. For the Docker agent, following the UB9 update CLI manifest, there is one PR that adds documentation to the script that deals with those tags, and that enhances the JQ command. By the way, Hervé, it was you proposed to do something, not to do something. You proposed that maybe there was some better way to deal with the JQ command because it was followed by a few bash commands, but I found a way to do it in a better way with only JQ. So that's better, but that's maybe not the end of it. If you ever have time, please take some time to review this PR. And I've spotted nothing on the Docker SSH agent lately. Mark, On the 2+2+2 Java support plan, is there anything new?
Nothing since the last time we met. I've still got more work to do on it. We know it needs more work. The dates are now need to be a little further refined as we've become closer to times. We're executing on the plan, but the formal support of the formal acceptance of the proposal needs more writing.
Yeah, I see. It looks like we are at the end of the planned agenda. Is there any subject you would like to be addressed today?
So you didn't mention the ARM64 blog post that was tweeted and whatnot. Is that worth a brief mention and discussion?
Why not, Mark? Are you referring to the interview done by the Emperor team of myself, or is it something else?
Well, so there was a video that I haven't watched yet, right? So the Jenkins project,
You don't have
5+ years on Ampere ARM64 servers. So is that the interview with you?
I'm afraid it is.
Oh, good. Very good. Okay. Well, so the Jenkins project is delighted to continue to use and support ARM64, and they've actually they've lent us
Lent,
2 ARM64 servers that we're using actively. I use them all the time. So
I'll put the link later on. Yes, and we are happy with that. It's not yet a regular Jenkins agent, I would say. It's part of your infrastructure, Mark.
Right.
It's not part of the Jenkins official infra.
right, we're going to have to buy more memory, put more memory into the 2 boxes, and then we'll connect them in a similar way. The way Damien has described it, we'll connect them in a similar way to the way we've connected the System 390 donated agents to ci.jenkins.io. That way we've got System 390, and then we'll have ARM64 that's always on, always connected.
That's cool. By the way, we were also donated a RISC-V machine a few months ago by the RISC-V Foundation and a partnership with Milk5. And I made some tests in the previous month with this machine, and Jenkins as a controller or as an agent works beautifully on this machine. It's 128 gigabytes of RAM, by the way, and 64 cores. So that's a pretty nice machine. So I was pretty hopeful and wanted to take it to the FOSDEM at the beginning of February, because we, as the Jenkins project, have a booth during FOSDEM, and we wanted to showcase what we can do with Jenkins, the latest LTS on various architecture, but whatever. But the machine just died on me. So I don't know, it looked like the PSU is dead. There is no light, no fan, no nothing. It used to work. It worked until yesterday night, and this morning it just refused to start. Too bad. We'll see what we can do. I would love to have this machine working on the Jenkins booth. I will keep you posted. S ... happens. Anyway.
It does.
It does, yes. It looks like it's a wrap-up. We are done with the agenda. Thanks a lot for your time. The video should be available from 24 to 48 hours. And we should see each other 15 days from now. It won't be the end of your break yet, or will it? No.
It won't, but we probably should note, I'm assuming, so we're scheduled to meet the 17th, but we won't meet, I assume, on the 31st. So should I cancel that session on the 31st?
I'm not so sure I will be available. So yes, please, if you don't mind.
That's the day before the end of the Gregorian calendar New Year, or end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it then. Is there anyone in the group that objects to that?
Okay, and if anyone wants to run the meeting without me, you're welcome. No? Okay, let's just cancel it then.
Okay, so I've deleted it from the Jenkins calendar.
Thanks a lot for thinking of it, Mark. Okay, bye-bye, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Chris?